observation, and it's a little bit of me shooting my mouth off, so just give me a couple minutes, but not more than a couple minutes. The reason that we have pushed so hard to have this program here in Pensacola, and the reason that we have said that this is important for Pensacola to know about, that's what I want to talk about. Why is it important to Pensacola? What we have here is we have Lloyd and his associates and other people who he knows who are on the cusp of being able to bring many of the advantages of artificial intelligence to users who are not programmers of neural networks. That's a great, great thing. That's a great, great thing. Jody has mentioned, and I will tell you my driving force in all of this, and she has mentioned it, is what about the ethics of this? When you talk about the cost and what the costs are going to be, Howard and I have worked in the medical field. What brought me here to Pensacola was I was a field engineer, medical field engineer for Hewlett-Packard. And I remember when fetal monitoring first came out, all of a sudden we had all this new information about what was going on with babies inside the womb. We had all this information. I was very well schooled at Hewlett-Packard's an incredible company. And I was there and saw babies birth and helped birth babies and did all that as part of my training. And what we tried to tell our people was, please don't start changing what you do, because you're going to be getting a whole lot more information. It's going to scare the hell out of you, and all of a sudden you're going to be having C-sections up the wahoo because you're seeing stuff you never saw before. You don't know how to interpret it. Hold on and don't do this. Well, what happens is that you have all the pressures to monetize. And so that's medical. You have medical that's stuck between an empirical knowledge over a long period of time, and we have all this other stuff going on where we're getting new information very, very quickly. It is totally, totally imperative that we focus on the ethics of this powerful tool. That's going on in Pensacola now. That's going on. Pay attention. Pensacola is a very important place for a lot of different reasons. We have this mixture of commercial, we have this mixture of community, we have a great university getting greater. Pay attention. And we're going to keep doing programs like this because it is true. We are in a great place at a great time. Pay attention, but we got to deal with some big questions. Thank you.
And Lloyd, would you like to speak to that IHMC event coming up as well?
I'll let you announce it later.
Sure.
But what I wanted to say before everybody left is if I was an audience, I would be asking, like, let's say, Sue, in my psychology practice, how can I use AI? Same thing here with Baptist, same thing with the physical therapy, personal training, and Jeremy with the active activity stuff. That's the question I would be asking, if I was an audience.
Any other questions before we wrap up? Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's not that I don't think that your question for me would be a great one, but on a more personal level, and I'm sorry I'm late, I had another commitment, but how would it work towards, like my mom was recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and that's a really big fear of mine. So that would be more of my question, is this something that could work towards predicting and
Actually, there's a whole body of literature of using AI to predict the onset of dementia or Alzheimer's. The problem I have is we don't have the treatment for it. That's the problem. However, maybe down the road we will. But AI is very good at looking at highly complex data that the average human can't synthesize. There's too many data points, too many variables. So that's how it's used, and it can be applied to EEGs, functional MRIs, you name it. I'll leave you one fascinating one. And I don't remember the technology, but basically the patient had something, it was either an EEG or functional MRI. They showed the person an image of something, say a dog, and then the AI printed out the dog. So, think about it. So it has great potential in neurology. We don't even know where to apply it just yet.
Susan, kind of what my point is that like, you can use this artificial neural network in a lot of ways. So like, if you keep records on all your patients that come in, you can use that data and use an artificial neural network to model that data so you can kind of understand the dynamics of what's going on in your office. Same thing there. It doesn't have to be some big thing you have to do with Google or something. Just keep records and keep accumulating the data, and you can actually model that data and understand. And so, if you get a new person that comes into the office, you may have a little personal assistant application that can help them understand what to do. It doesn't have to be a big data thing. That's what my point is. You can use it just on any data.
How do you use it?
Yeah, and so basically the way you start is that you start keeping track of things, keep a spreadsheet of patient by patient, activity by activity, and just mark down what you do with that activity and what's the outcome. And you just keep these records, and then you can use that data to build an artificial neural network. So if this type of patient comes in, you should do this. And so you automate your processes. It's not all about big data, it's about small data too. That's the point that people forget sometimes.
So I got one question. My sort of organic for the people. I know you mentioned about like we do research at university, but we don't actually test on the field. For you guys, what kind of unit you have in place to bring those kind of research within to kind of test it, and it's a framework in place for that, or is it a system in place for that? Because my company actually really not strategic technical professional to kind of like do those things, and actually got an award to the effort to live to control foundation program or something. So to you guys, something like that.
Something in the hospital field, we're going to be following the big, the Mayos. So they will blaze the trail for us. Anytime you're doing research that affects any human subjects, there are certain rules that have to be followed through an institutional review board. So it's a fairly structured process to protect your patients. So basically, we would look to big organizations to start that ball rolling and set some standards. And then once we have those, then I think your small organizations would be ready to jump on board with things that are basically proven.
We're dealing with the American Board of Medical Genetics, obviously establishes the ethical standards for a number of data. We get so much molecular data that's unknown, and we have discoveries, those unexpected discoveries happen every day, and you're in a quandary of how to present this to the patient, and more of these discoveries happen. And there's some guidelines currently that we have to follow what to do with that data, and it's all part of going into the medical record, how it goes into Epic, those sorts of things. So just to address some of what Bill's saying, and I think what I'm hearing due to the whole AI program here, but it's that marriage of this data with the biological data. And that's the key here, is the data gets so far out in front of the biological data sometimes for us in the medical field that are practicing medicine.
The other issue with your field is there are not enough geneticists and genetic counselors.
And there's your test utilization management problem. A lot of the physicians I work with, clinical geneticists, he's a pediatrician, and they are trained historically to recognize genetic syndromes. And his concern is, and I think this was brought up earlier, that there's this fear that people are going to rely on the AI to figure out these diseases for them. They're saying, their ability to recognize these may it be through AI, to lead them down the road of what application and what test to control cost and all of those sorts of things. So the biology has a way to go to catch up with what you guys are coming up, the data that's being generated.
Many moving targets, unfortunately.
What I've noticed is that what's being reported is that the combination of the AI stuff and a human working together to get the best results, including playing games and stuff like that. So that's really the scenario, is, using, humans and these AI tools together to get things done.
And that's called augmented intelligence, and that has been shown exactly what you're saying, with the pathologists say is 96% accurate. Apply AI, it's now 99 or 98. So I think that's where we'll go next. I don't see any replacement in the foreseeable future.
One or two final questions, comments? I did mention the IHMC event on September the 10th. It is an open discussion to the forum. If you're around on September 10th, the IHMC has a very beautiful new location, and the ethics discussion will be continuing there. So we would encourage you to stay engaged with that as well. Panelists, any final comments?
I would just say, remember, AI is a tool that you can actually use to do the job better. It doesn't have to be this big thing that Google or Microsoft is actually working on. So there's always ways to improve, increase your productivity and to get more work done. And so, this idea of artificial neural networks, it's basically just taking data, turning it into a software program that can run. And that's basically what the message is.
I'd say just thank you for your interest. I come from the research perspective down in the weeds, but we're very excited to have community interest. These conversations really help keep us going. We decided to do this talk, just some conversations among us, and we picked AI because we feel like there's even people I work with, in academia, and you hear AI and they just kind of tense up. And, if you're not the computer scientist or the programmer who really knows what we mean, this is just kind of the natural thing to do. So I would just encourage to keep having these conversations. And thank you so much, for your interest and your questions.
She was an inspiration for us.
Just echo what you said, don't be afraid of it, read about it. When you see an article in the gray literature or the medical literature, whatever, try to get an overall 50,000-foot view at least of what's going on, because it's here, it's not going anywhere, and we do appreciate you coming so you can learn a little bit more and have this conversation.
Can I ask one just really quick question? So based on the knowledge that's out there, do any of you have a thought or projection of how long it's going to take humans to get kind of comfortable with this idea based on how you've seen other types of dramatic changes move through society?
Well, so I think the way you get comfortable, and this is how I got comfortable with it, sitting on my partner's shoulder and watching him take data, and a few minutes later, he has something that works. So like for a friend of mine, he's a salesperson, but he has this hobby of doing craft beer.
Right.
But he's still afraid of artificial neural networks. So I told him, I said, well, you've been keeping a spreadsheet of every time you make beer and what you use and how it tastes. Take that same data and let somebody create an artificial neural network to show you the relationship between the ingredients and the results of that. And then that's when you become sold on it. You can listen to all these things all you want, but until you see it
So
with
it's
some data that you,
experiential.
with some data that you understand. And it doesn't have to be anything big, it's data that you work with every day. So you can model a formula that you have in an Excel spreadsheet and create an artificial neural network from it. And let it calculate the stuff just like the formula does. That's what convinced you that it works.
Keep in mind, smartphones were adopted very rapidly worldwide with their problems too. That's my point. I mean,
Yes.
Fantastic adoption, fantastic potential, but who thought people would text and drive? Who thought, people would be downright addicted to a phone? I didn't see it. So maybe we'll have AI addiction.
We would definitely want to thank the university for, letting us use their space here to do this. It's a really nice facility, and you all welcome to come up, we'll be here till
We'll
1
be here.
o'clock. And Jody, you have some brain images and
I
stuff?
do, yeah, anybody wants to look at brain scans? We actually use multimodal data. On my facility, we have MRI scanners and PET scanners. So that's where we give the patient radiation, and then your brain, burns glucose, and then we can actually see, kind of from the outside in. So we can look at all kinds of brain scans.
Absolutely, please stick around if you can, and meet with Jody and the other panelists, but thank you for your time today.